You're watching a closer look. Members of the opposition have expressed dissatisfaction towards what they labelled as the hijacking of the parliament process when the vote of no confidence was ignored, as due process were not followed, with Parliament being adjourned to May 28 of this year. In this episode of A Closer Look, we outline the breach and violation of the VONC process and bring to you some of the insight from the last man standing, Sir Julius Chan, and the views from the public regarding the vote of no confidence.
After 17 days of Parliament sitting, the leader of government business, Rainbow Paita, moved that the Parliament be adjourned to 28 of May 2024. This has triggered a point of order from the Sinisini Yongomog MP, Kerengakua, questioning the acting Speaker of Parliament, Connie Iguan, on the reasons as to why the vote of no confidence will not be placed on the notice paper.
We have on the 20th filed with the Speaker a motion for a vote of no confidence against the Prime Minister only. The Speaker received it, signed it and acknowledged it, and according to the standing orders of the Parliament, it's supposed to be the priority business today. We deal with, according to the standing orders, all private business matters are dealt with on Thursdays, which is today. So we were supposed to have dealt with the fate of that notice decisively today. Clearly, the private business committee met yesterday, as the Speaker has alluded to. They made a decision yesterday, but the Speaker refused to disclose the reason.
The acting Speaker of Parliament responded and stated that the private business committee will provide the reasons in due course. This response from the Speaker then caused a rowdy reaction from the opposition side of the House.
Committee have decided. So I've already made a decision on that. I will not entertain any more point of order. Leader of government business.
Mr. Speaker, me like move us a mini agenda Parliament go on. Mr. Speaker.
Order.
The members of the opposition in a news conference expressed dissatisfaction towards the manner in which the Parliament handled its business on the 22nd of February, stating that the Parliament has been hijacked as the government deliberately buried the vote of no confidence that was supposed to be a priority business. Speaking on opposition behalf was Kerengakua.
The way I see it, what they've done is they've looked at us not to go to court and blockade it for the next 3 months and not giving the reasons. They haven't processed it fully. So we can't run off to court when the matter has not been fully processed here at the parliamentary level. There's something that is happening within their ranks which we don't know, but they are so afraid to see this particular motion brought to the floor and see the light of day and be actioned by the leaders. So for me, it's a very sad, dark day for this country.
Kua further labelled this as an act of constitutional sabotage when this VONC is deferred for another 3 months. Mr. Kua explained that this can be battled in court, but they were not properly informed by the Speaker, who refused to give information.
We, as the opposition, we can take the matter to court, but before we go to court, we need to know exactly what is the status of our motion. We need to know what they've decided, whether they've accepted or rejected. And if they've rejected, then on what basis? These are the things they have to tell us, because when we go to court, we're able to tell the court that this is what they have done, they've dealt with it, and this is the reason they've given for not accepting it. And then the court will be able to decide whether that is correct or not correct.
Sharing the same sentiment, the Vainimo Green MP, Beldan Nama, stated that what has transpired is the hijacking of the parliament process and the constitution of the country. He calls on the Prime Minister to not interfere with the process of Parliament.
What we have witnessed today is the hijacking of the parliamentary procedures and the constitution of our country. We brought the number to the floor of Parliament, the people of Papua New Guinea, with a motion. That's our number. Prime Minister should not interfere with the process of Parliament.
Responding to this, Prime Minister James Marape revealed that he is not privy as to why the motion was not entertained.
Those who are crying foul should look back. By now the acting speaker, as chair of this committee, would have given them the reasons why. I am not yet privy to the reasons why the motion was not entertained, but as I did mention earlier, Constitution outlays how the motion is to be lodged and the requirements.
Marape then highlighted that there are due processes to follow and calls for the opposition to follow the due process. Marape further added that Gordon Wesley, the Samarai Muria MP, confirmed he had not signed the second motion as indicated, highlighting that there is a possibility of act of forgery in the motion.
Certain signatories of motions, especially the second motion, I will not be surprised if the third motion also it confirms that certain signatories did not sign onto the motion. Evidence of cut and paste, evidence of photocopying that has emerged in a serious Section 145 motion. And this is not a funny matter for them to procure signatures of leaders without their consent. One leader, in fact, the Honourable Gordon Wesley has given a letter to the Private Members Committee that for the second motion, he did not sign.
However, opposition leader Douglas Tomoriesa explains on this.
Gordon Wesley, Governor of Mlimbe, because on the 14th, Governor Gordon Wesley's signature was on the paper. And if they're using that as a technical reason not to allow the motion to come to the floor, we have already corrected that. We withdrew the motion of the 14th, and the Speaker has accepted the motion of the 20th. So that is just a clarification.
Adding on, the last man standing, Sir Julius Chan, elaborated on the importance of upholding the Constitution.
For all the technical thing for you to argue, I got nothing to argue but to uphold the Constitution. And believe me, it has lasted for 48 years. And the people, you must respect your own decision that you have allowed the Parliament, the People's House, to last for 48 years without really any disturbance.
I decided that constructive dialogue must be open between all parties involved.
Sir Julius recalled when he took over the seat from the late founding father, highlighting that due process were followed and decisions were respected, and the late founding father took it calmly.
The committee that decide on the motion, etc., no, the Speaker just look at it and it's right. We don't find mistakes. The mistakes is in the government. And the people are asking for a change. And this is the People's House. What do?
He further added that the amendment made to the Constitution is not an easy task and urged the government to have a critical view before making any amendments.
This is your future. This House is your future. In the last 6 months, I've realized that I've never experienced so much amendment to the Constitution and Mama law. You cannot just go and play around with it. You cannot shake the mangoes to just fall down. That's the pillar of the nation.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Marape highlighted that the opposition will have the opportunity to again present the motion when Parliament sits on May 28th and gave assurance that they will not run away from vote of no confidence and the processes.
That's all we have for you on this episode of A Closer Look. Join us same time next week for another episode. On behalf of the entire team, thank you for watching and have a pleasant evening.